It's the Connected Life Book Club, Season 3. I'm Summer Shepherd, and we have an unfamiliar face here on the couch. Candace is feeling under the weather. So we have a special guest. This is Julie McCarthy.
Hello.
She is one of my favorite people in Madison. So she is going to be jumping on to the couch to discuss Shades of Light with me today. Now, we are on week 4 of our 6-week study, but if you are just tuning in, if you're just finding out, this is a quick read, and I think Julie would agree. You read the first 206 pages yesterday afternoon in order to be here today.
Yeah, and finished this morning. Yeah. So I feel like I'm right in the middle of it.
Well, thank you for being here. Thanks for taking the time to join us. So if you are jumping in maybe for the first time, the way we're handling this season is we are going along with the Shades of Light study guide that they've created. And all week they give you different questions to contemplate, different reflections. But then at the end, there's a group discussion section. So we're just going to answer maybe 2, maybe 3 questions from that section as part of our talk today. And I hope that you are enjoying this book as much as we are. So can just jump right in?
Sure.
You good with that?
Yes.
All right. The first question goes there. I mean, we're jumping right into the deep end. Mm-hmm. Are you in a season of needing to receive the service of others or offering service to others? What challenges are you facing in this right now?
You know, when I was reading that, Summer, I was just like, oh my goodness, because for me, being a mom of 4 adult children, I kept relating to Jamie, to her character, because it was like, and every time that her words were in italics, I was like, oh, that's what I would have said, or that's what I would have thought. Exactly, I'm with you there, Jamie, But to be able to see the backside of how everything that Wren was going through and what she was feeling, like even just the next line, you could almost feel and see the lightness dimming to darkness for her when she was going through these moments, of anxiety. And it was just really eye-opening to me because you could almost feel it going through with her. So for me, it really made me realize how when someone expresses to you, which I've had someone recently expressing to me, I'm really struggling, and I didn't understand the struggle. But now I feel like I do. So
would you say that you're in a season right now of comforting others more than needing that comfort for yourself?
Right. I feel like, okay, I need to rise up in comfort. And I didn't really know what to do. And I feel like this is helping me see that I can just serve their basic needs, and that'll be really helping in itself.
That's awesome. Yeah, for us, I feel like we're in a really interesting season because there are some things going on in our family where we are really needing the support and comfort of those around us, which isn't a bad place to be in sometimes. I think we need to return to that place where we need to ask for help. I think that's valuable. But then there's other people in the family right now who are desperately in need of comfort. So it's actually a two-way thing right now. Found out some really big news from someone very close to me who is going to be needing a lot of help over the next 9 months, if I can say that, which is very, very exciting. But yeah, so there's a lot of give and take in our lives right now. Now, Julie, if I could jump off of this even further, what would you say is easier for you, being in a season where you need the help or being in a place where you need to give it?
Easier. Gosh, define easy. I think both are hard. I think being the caregiver and being the one that has to swallow your words and hold them in and be worried about saying the right thing can really be difficult.
Yeah.
And I think being in the position of needing someone's comfort and words and hope can be really difficult too. Just you don't even know how to express what you need. All you know is that you need help, you need hope, you need love, you need support, and to even be able to express that. So I think both of them are hard to be in.
I would agree with that. I would say that for me, it's probably harder to be in a position of need. Like my mom was sharing with me this morning as I was driving into work today. She recently had a major surgery on one leg and is out of commission for that.
Oh, gosh.
And then as she's recovering, she was walking with a cane and stubbed the toe on her weight-bearing foot and broke her toe on her cane. So now neither of her feet work.
Oh.
And she has her adult daughter living at home and her husband, and they're wonderful, loving people, but they're not stepping up in the way that she necessarily needs with, like, you know, household stuff or cleaning and cooking and stuff. And so she had to have a hard conversation where she was just in tears and saying, I don't want you to help me. And they're like, well, what do you want from us? You know? And she goes, but I need you to. And she just lost it, because no one wants to be in that place where they feel like a burden.
Right.
And I think that that's what Wren is going through in this book, is she has these needs. Like, she can't function, and it hurts her so badly to be in that place, because she doesn't feel like she deserves to be. She doesn't feel like her life's all that bad. Like, why am I struggling this way? And having to ask for help and having to ask for concessions from people, letting your pride take a back seat to your need, your health.
Right.
That's a hard place to be in.
Yeah. Like, she even said she didn't want her mom to see her like that. And then when her mom did come and she was seeing her mom, she couldn't bear to look at her, because she knew that her pain was causing her mom pain. And how much she loved her mom. She didn't want her to feel that pain as much as that. She needed to push her away to not, because she couldn't take any more pain. She couldn't even bear to see the pain in her mom's eyes.
Yeah.
During times of that. So...
Yeah. Well, and then like you said, it's hard being on the other side too, because we have Wren, who's like, man, it hurts me so bad to be causing this pain to others. I can't even face it. And therefore, Jamie's interpreting this as, doesn't she see the pain she's causing me? She won't even apologize. You know, it's just this avoidance. Right. But yeah, I mean, I've related to both of these characters so much, which, okay, let me seg that into our next question then. Share some of your aha moments from this week in light of the character struggles. What's resonating with you, challenging you, comforting you? Why?
Yeah. You know, even when Wren was talking to Kit about, maybe you should write your story, Kit, you know, because she never knew that story before, that Kit went through something like this, that she was even in an institution for a while. And when she found that out, it was like, really? Like, you went through that? And just telling her to write her story. And then when ultimately they decide that through Wren's artwork and her writing that they could come together and really make something at an elevated beauty, a new depth that, you know, was really cool. And so I don't know, I think writing our story, going back and some of those things, especially as I'm getting older, realizing that there are people that are younger that need to know some of the struggles we went through so that we can share how we came out of it, so they can see the hope. Because I think the hope that Kit shared, how she came out of such difficult circumstances, was a light for Wren, and it offers her hope. And I think that's something that once we get past something in our own lives, we can't just bury that. We have to be willing to mentor and share and be transparent to those that we're mentoring that are younger, coming behind us, those that God's put in our path. Share that with them to help them see that there's hope to come out on the other side. I made it, you can make it too. Yeah,
and I love that moment, which I hadn't thought of until you said that, where they are both supporting each other through and because of their brokenness.
Yes.
Like, Kit's brokenness has enabled Wren to relate to her and to kind of come out of her own shell. But yeah, her encouraging her to write, her encouraging her to paint, them understanding each other's pain on a deep level. That hiding it is never the answer, I would say, you know, pushing it down and not letting people see that. And so I love that Kit opened up. For me, I think what has been resonating with me through this week's study is two things. One of them is how easy it is to compare ourselves to other people, and how toxic that really is. Like, for Wren, she looks around and she sees people who are suffering more and feels inadequate in her suffering. Like, I don't deserve to feel the pain that I'm feeling right now. But then she also, like on Thanksgiving dinner, she goes to Hannah's house and she sees these people who are so successful and doing so much good in ministry. And then she feels awful because she doesn't measure up to them. Yeah, but what she is starting to see is that everyone's going through it at their own level, the companions in despair, the companions in suffering, and being able to see in those around her that we're all on this journey. And we don't have to be at the same place to understand and relate and sympathize with each other and to support each other. Right. And so her coming to that realization has been helpful. But I have to say, what challenged me the most, what elicited the most emotional response from me, I wanted to reach through the pages and grab Wren's shoulders, tear her phone from her hand and smash it against the floor, was when she texted Casey.
Yeah, that was controversial.
Because I relate to Wren here and there, because I mean, I've had depressive episodes, especially when I was younger. Like, I get it, not to the level that she struggles. So lately I've been relating to Jamie more, but when she picked up the phone and she re-entered into that codependent relationship, even just for a moment, because, well, maybe he's struggling, maybe he's suffering, maybe this is the Lord telling me I should be texting my married best friend who has made it clear.
Don't we do that? You know, we get these signals. And, you know, to me, what I saw through that was that God showing her, or maybe now she'll learn it, but did she have Casey more on a pedestal than she did God? You know, who was at the center? You know, who was she really hanging on to for their life stream? Was it God, or had she let Casey into that realm?
Well, and then as much as she thinks, oh, it's just harmless, I just want to see, you know, he came to mind, maybe there's a reason, I'm just going to text him a quick little thing. But then she texts him, he responds, and now she's overthinking and reading into that. Well, what did that thumbs up really mean? And so now she's got to push it even further. And then she takes apart every word of his response. And, well, what does this word mean? What is this word? And I'm like, oh, girl, what? So I'm interested to see what plays out.
Yeah, because now, I mean, in this last chapter, you know, Jamie, her mom is like, you know, she hasn't mentioned Casey lately. I wonder if they had a falling out. And, you know, so now her mom's going to open that box more. So, yeah, we'll have to see how it ends.
I have a feeling we're not done with Casey. Like, I have a feeling this is not just,
no, that was opened again. Like, here
and there's, I don't know, a bit of the book left here. So anything could happen. But I just, for me, I've had so many of those codependent relationships where I feel like I'm just loving them well. And I just have such a heart for them. And looking back now as a grown woman and being like, oh, goodness. You know, I see all the ways those relationships went wrong and distracted from God and all of that. And so maybe I'm too hard on Casey because I put myself into the story too much in that case. But that I'm interested to see how that plays out.
Yeah, same here. Especially with Jamie saying, she hasn't mentioned him for a while. I wonder what's going on. And
yeah.
I
feel like it's foreshadowing. Whew. But so any other thoughts having caught up yesterday, and anything else really sticking out to you?
Just the fact that I need to go see a friend who's been messaging me that she's struggling, and I didn't understand the struggle. I didn't know that side of a struggle like that, and now I feel like I have a new understanding. And although I sent a card and I was at a distance, now I'm available this week, and so I'm like, I think I need you to stop in and kind of fill the role that Kit did, like meet a physical need, whatever it is, or go get a meal, or whatever it is, and I don't have to have the right words or anything. I think just serving them, meeting their basic needs is huge. And so that I can just do that. You know, like I've had friends say, you know, keep your prayers. They don't work for me. And when I want to pray for them and they know that I'm someone who will pray for them, I just pray all the harder, you know, but I'm not telling them, you know, I'm like, I'm just going to pray and then just serve a basic need. And I think that was probably one of my takeaways for this week.
Well, what beautiful timing. Because, you know, God uses simple circumstances like Candace being sick, me inviting you on the show. You're like, well, I actually haven't started the book yet, so I'm going to read it. But, you know, your friend needs you right now, and this gave you an insight to her struggle that you didn't have before, and that's incredible.
So true. It's a God moment. I always call those God things. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Well, if you haven't started or you haven't caught up or you are, I don't know, thinking about joining us, but you're just not sure for Shades of Light, would you recommend it?
Oh, yeah. Now I'm going to have to finish it and
well, and clearly it's a pretty quick read. If she could get through 206 pages yesterday afternoon.
I did, and finished this morning.
I love that so much. So join with us if you haven't already. Subscribe to the podcast through Spotify, Apple Podcasts, your Google Play Store, anywhere where you receive podcasts. We are here for that. But the first step, as always, is to sign up to join us at connectedlifebookclub.com. Thanks so much.